Is there somebody in the trees? Yes, it's midnight. All right, what's up guys? It's midnight. Welcome back to another video. So Fisch actually just uploaded the entire doc of the buffs and nerfs that are coming to the game. And I wanted to just real quickly go over them. I know Uno already posted his video, but I kind of wanted to just, post mine. My friend gave me the actual Google Doc for the spreadsheet of the nerfs and buffs in the game. So I real quickly just want to go over them and, just kind of talk about what they mean for the game. I see you getting comfortable again, by the way. Press the subscribe button. Please, we're really close to 100k subs. I would like to hit it by the end of the year. All right, enough e-begging. Let's get into the video. So in the Discord earlier today, they announced that there'd be some major rebalancing. I'm still having to get these screenshots from my friend because I'm banned from the server. Please, Fisch, read my appeal. And they went over everything that'd be changed, like prices, actual rod qualities, buffs to fish, enchants. So we're gonna real quickly just go over everything in that doc. So we're in the actual doc right now, and already I see in stage 1 they lowered a bunch of the prices for rods. So that's pretty cool. Stage 2 they did relatively the same thing, and I also see that they changed some qualities with the rods over here. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna go over them because who's using fungal and magma rod in 2025. When I skimmed through the balance change doc though, I noticed, wait, solar blaze. Yo, there's finally a chance. So it seems like what they're trying to do is they're trying to implement solar blades into some of these rods because it doesn't look like they're going to bring back the carrot rod got buffed. For anyone that cares about that, I think this buff is actually pretty insane, to be honest. Rod of the depths got buffed, and it seems that they finally allowed the abyssal to go on the fish that you catch with your ghost. So that's a pretty good change. Luminescent oath gets gutted even harder than it already was before. Yeah, there's just no point in using luminescent oath anymore. Low key. No life rod got changed. Tripled slash power. Jesus, hold on. I did see a lot about tripling slash power going through this doc, so I just want to maybe at the end go over that again. Celestial rod 100 luck 60. Whoa, okay, this buff looks pretty good. Cerulean fang piercing, 15% progress, 15% chance for Nova. Okay, there's finally a rod that lets you get Nova besides using Starlight Worms. That's pretty cool. And also obviously besides fishing and during a starfall. 25% chance for Tidal Mutation. Dupe higher fish with 25 to 50% chance size every 3 perfect catches. Guaranteed Tidal Mutation on the Megalodon. What is Tidal? Okay, I guess this I'm sorry guys, you're gonna hear an ice cream truck for like the next 20 or so seconds. I don't know if that file is gonna stop driving through my neighborhood. I guess Tidal's a mutation they're going to add to the game. I don't know when it's going to come out. I hope it's something like 3 or 4x though, because I do know that Ride of the Eternal King, has greedy, and that's like 4x or 5x. So hope that gets buffed. This is the thing I wanted to talk about though the most. Wicked Fang getting 30% chance for Solar Blaze, which is way more than a Phoenix rod buff. I like this. So this finally gives me a rod that lets me get Solar Blaze on my fish. So that's pretty cool. People are going to have way less trouble getting Solar Blaze Cthulhuids, which is something I know a lot of people are struggling on. Context, if you weren't aware how to get this rod, you had to go pop an Eclipse Totem right here. And then you had to go into the Crimson Cavern where there's a rod sitting somewhere up on the upper part of the Crimson Cavern. If you just walk around, you'll see it, but that rod was pretty busted, being the fact that it was like Cerulean Fang, just slightly worse, but now it actually has another use besides it just being worse than Cerulean Fang. So I'm glad that it finally has like a better use. Now the rods in this stage didn't necessarily get changed. I do see that as I'm going through this list, a lot of the rods have less level requirements and a lot less cost to them, which is pretty cool. Specifically, most of the crafting rods is not costing money anymore to craft. I don't know, becoming like 70% cheaper. Jesus. Whoa, I just scrolled a freaking ethereal prism. What do you mean it's 3.5 million? Back in the day there used to be like 5 million quadrillion bazillion bands, bro. Are you serious? I mean, I guess they're saying that everything should be cheaper, and they're gonna make everything not cost as much, so that's interesting. Spirit Binder seems to have gotten a passive change. 25% chance for Spirit, 5% chance to hook the highest rarity fish in the current pool. Bonus fish every 60 seconds with Spirit. Okay, so this is just a worse Polaris. I mean, I guess, to the 3 Spirit Binder fans out there, this rod got a buff. Now this stage, freaking Oniri Falk's didn't get changed at all. Ruinous Oath is 5 million and level 500 now. Didn't get changed. Wind Elemental now has a level requirement. Didn't get changed. Tryhard Rod is now 100 million. Didn't get changed. Cinderblock Rod is going to have a different obtainment. This is crazy. What are they going to add for level 1500 now? I assume the people that got it, through levels are still going to keep it. But if they take it away from everybody, what are they going to make us get instead? Dreambreaker Rod, obviously, the best rod currently in the game right now, is now 5 million cheaper. And Random Rod is also getting the same question mark obtainment thing. So like, what does that mean? Are they going to give us something different for 1500 and 2000? Are they going to make it through like a Dev Rod quest or something? Now, the one that I'm most disappointed about, Fabulous Rod not getting changed at all. For this rod being the hardest rod to get in the entire game, for you needing to do 4 dev rod quests to get this rod, and it's like, it's actually a question if it's one of the best rods in the game. That's a problem, you feel me? I feel like this should be the best rod in the game no matter what, because like Polaris is just as good as this. A moss child just spawned in my game and interrupted my entire speech. I'm so mad about that. Anyway, no, I still think that Polaris is probably better than Fabulous Rod. And now enchants, let's go through enchants, because I actually really like what they did with enchants. They changed how a lot of the enchants work. I'm gonna go through the ones I find to be the most important, because, you know, these ones are actually the enchants that we use all the time. Piercing has stronger piercing. This is what I wanted to talk about when I saw that No Life Rod got a piercing buff. This is stronger. What does that mean? Freeze doesn't require you to have windy weather to get your buffs, and instead it just doubles in wind. If you're running out of enchants, that's not that bad. That's not that bad. It could be way worse. Abyssal might be decently worth it if you're a new player. Quality got a buff overall besides in progress speed. Steady got extra control. Storming got the breeze treatment. Swift has extra progress speed, which I'm not gonna lie, this right here makes it way better than hasty. Like there might honestly be no point in using hasty anymore. Quantum got extra resilience, and I know that subspace isn't a good mutation, but I'm gonna highlight on why I'm talking about subspace and quantum right now. Tenacity is now infinite stacking. I'm going to be doing a video of like 10,000 progress speed maybe, and Try Hard got more progress speed buff. You know, why not? Give it more. Now let's go into items. As you can see, everything overall is cheaper. Like they're gonna really balance out the entire economy. My biggest pet peeve was lunar threads and moonstone being like so expensive, and now it's like relatively cheap. But you mean to tell me nukes were 1 million and lunar threads were 7.5 million? I have like 90 lunar threads. I have 4 nukes. All these changes are really good, but now let's go into like the real meat and bones of the update, the entire mutation nerfs. As you can see, a lot of mutations got nerfed. Like almost every mutation here got nerfed. I will say though, it was kind of getting to a point because Tryhard Rod was literally getting like outperformed by a bunch of newer rods. For example, the Strat Rod, Evil Pitchfork, Fabulous Rod, you know, all these rods. I'm only going to highlight on the ones that were really good for Aquarium because, you know, I feel like not enough people really care about the other mutations in the game. Title, which is that new mutation coming to the Forgotten Fang Rod, is actually a 7x. That's pretty good. And now let's talk about the mutations that are really good for aquariums, which I believe the best ones are Distraught, Fabulous, Spicy, Glowy, Siren Spite, Serene, you know, anything over like 14x. If I forget some, I'm sorry, but the entire doc is in the server, and I'll even put it in the description and the pinned comment in this video. Spicy is now 8x, Glowy is now 8x, Distraught is now 8.5x, Serene is now 8x, Tryhard is now 10x, which is the highest mutation in the game, and it stayed the highest mutation in the game. Mossy is now 8.7x, which I believe is like the 4th highest mutation in the game. Nightmare is 8.8x, which is really high as well. Jack's Curse is 8.5x. Fabulous is 9.3. Darkness is 9.4. What they're trying to do, which is very good by the way, they're trying to rebalance the entire mutation value system, because as you guys know, you know, there's a lot of mutations in the game that are very close to Tryhard, which was 17x. So if you had something like the Strat with like Giant on it, that could be very much better than Tryhard. Like it was very hard to get good Tryhard fish. But now this brings more balance to the game, and it does kill a lot of the value in some fish in the game, I won't lie, but it's honestly for the better. And I think we were getting to a point where things were way too like OP. Like I myself have a 14 million aquarium that I farm for myself, but even I'll agree it was getting out of hand. I also won't lie though, this buff does feel a little targeted. What this also means now is that some fish are gonna get fixed in the game, and this is more of like a secret bug that people didn't know about, but I'm gonna explain it. So there was this more smaller bug that people didn't know about, where if you had sparkling on a really high mutation fish, anything over like 14x, it would actually give you less value, and I'll show that bug happening. I have this Spicy Giant Sparkling Aquaro Kamui. This Aquaro Kamui is 1.53 million in my aquarium. If I take it out though, and I put in the Sparkling Akuro Kamui, which is not that small in value by the way, this should be like 1.4 million at minimum. It's 943. Now I get that it is substantially smaller, but I have fish that are smaller than this one and they don't have sparkling and they're worth more. So that was a weird bug that like, you know, affected like the minority of, you know, the fish in the game. But I had people, you know, come to my DMs and ask me like, hey, I know you're good with aquariums and stuff, why is this happening? And I had to tell them the unfortunate truth, and they're just like, oh, okay. So yeah, I think these nerfs with the mutations are going to fix a lot of weird stuff in the game, and I think that they're going to restore balance to the actual system in the game that decides like values and stuff like that. What this means though is that a lot of the values in the game in the future will stay within this relative frame of a certain balance, and I guess we're not going to see anything over 10x, which is honestly how it should be, unless they want to do another, you know, mutation and balance overhaul again, and, you know, make Tryhard 12x and then give us more value to other venues of the game. I think that's the only way that things are going to change. But I'm not gonna lie, I know this is gonna kill like my aquarium and stuff, but like I'm not too mad, to be honest. I think this whole like aquarium thing was getting to a point. Keep in mind though, guys, they said that this wasn't gonna be all the changes happening to the game. There's gonna be more changes. It's just that this is like, there's gonna be more changes, and they said that, you know, this is not gonna be permanent, and this is just like speculation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and if you guys watched up to this point in the video, thank you guys for watching. If you guys like my content or found me helpful or entertaining, make sure to let me know by leaving a like on this video, and also sub to the channel and hit the noti bell so that you guys get notified every single time I upload a video. I'm trying to hit 100K by the end of the year, so if we can do that, that'd be really cool. And also be sure to join my Discord server, link in the description below. I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace out, have a nice day, night, wherever you are. Bye bye.